Cheers.
Cheers. You used vodka? We can talk about this on
I did.
while we're recording too.
That's tasty. Naomi will have to drive to the grocery store later.
I almost got exactly the same straw.
Really? Too bad you didn't.
Little metal one with a blue tip. Then I saw
Yeah.
this plastic wider one, which is good for frozen drinks, but
Mine is not frozen enough to require a straw like that.
yeah, it doesn't really require it because even though it was slushy when I first felt it, it's already more of a liquid.
Noble mix. This one is very good.
I really like it too.
I like it even better than the mistletoe margarita. We are recording already, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, I didn't warn you first.
I see that we are.
I was just so distracted by how delicious this frozen cocktail is from Noble Mix.
It is really good. And
Before we go any further, we actually have to say that Noble Mix sent us a box of their products to try.
yeah.
And this was one of them.
Yeah.
We
have to start the episode at some point too. I mean, this is a lot of...
let's start it and then we'll talk about that.
Yeah, then we'll go back and talk about Noble Mix.
Okay, great.
Yeah, you're getting a little tipsy already.
Speaking of which, my mom just listened to the Noble Mix frozen mistletoe margarita episode and she was like, "You're getting a little tipsy during that episode." And I had to be like, I was a little bit. I said, please do not go and listen to the Margaritaville shrimp episode.
That's what I was just going to say. Do not listen to that one.
That one was worse. That was, oh my God, that was such torture to try to edit, to cobble together a podcast episode from those drunken ramblings.
And we were, for some reason, eating 3 or 4 different types of Margaritaville shrimp.
So complicated. Oh God.
We still haven't started the episode. Hey everyone, I'm Darren.
And I'm Max.
And we are
the Froze Bros. Now I'm fairly confident that's going to be dead on.
That one was better. You got a little better again. Maybe you need a drink.
Maybe I do. Yeah. Welcome to the world's #1 comedy podcast about frozen foods. Today.
And drinks. Frozen food and drinks.
Frozen food and drinks. As I was saying earlier, we have to mention that after our mistletoe margarita review, Noble Mix sent us a collection of their products to try. And this is the one that Darren wanted to try as part of the Frozathon. Let me double check the name to make sure I get it right. The Meyer Lemon Fizz frozen cocktail.
Lemon Fizz, yeah. It's a little bit like a lemonade, which is perfect for a picnic.
Perfect choice.
Yeah. Now,
I'm looking up, excuse my ignorance, but a Meyer lemon is what? A type of lemon?
It is. It's a hybrid between a lemon and something else. Is it 2 types of lemons or a lemon and...
It's native to China. Wikipedia is not giving me an easy answer here. I don't have my glasses on, so I can't see as well. A tangerine? Oh, wait. Meyer lemon is sweeter than other lemons. It tastes a bit like a tangerine or a navel orange. I can see that. But anyway, so this is the Meyer Lemon Fizz, and it is really good.
All right, I've got that it's a hybrid citrus fruit cross between a true lemon and a mandarin orange.
Ooh, maybe that's why I like it so much. I love a mandarin. I used to eat so many mandarins in college, the tips of my fingers would turn orange.
Really?
Yeah.
Those are easy to peel ones, though, right?
The cuties, yeah.
Yeah. Those are good.
Well, Noble Mix, you've done it again. Are we reviewing this officially, or is this just to enjoy?
We don't have to give it a rating, but it's really good. And Noble Mix recommended, I guess you could do whatever you want with these. They're versatile. If we were rating them, this would get a high versatility rate. You can make this with vodka, or it recommends prosecco. Not recommends, but says use one or the other. You could probably maybe gin or rum. I'd say they've probably done their testing, and vodka or prosecco might be best. So yeah, I've got some bubbles in here. I used a bottle of 90 plus prosecco.
Well, now, so I used vodka. The reason is I don't know much about prosecco. Tell me what that means.
It's an Italian sparkling wine. So
okay, great.
Like
no, but you said 90
is only
90 plus. What does the 90 mean?
90 plus is the brand. It's this.
I thought you meant it had more than 90 bubbles in it. Okay, great.
It has. Yeah. They've counted the bubbles.
Okay.
And they're more than 90 per cubic centimeter.
Okay, great.
And No.
Thank you for
I
using metric instead of, I was expecting cubic inch, but I guess that'd be imperial.
I changed quickly because I know this is a European product. So
I could hear it in your brain. I could hear you make that decision.
No, but I think it was a Boston guy who started 90 Plus. He bought up wines from other vineyards, other companies that were excess products, but that were ranked on a 1 to 100 scale at 90 and above. And they're just sold under the 90 Plus name. So you can get some really good advertising 90 Plus from Froze Bros right here, but you can get some good wines and sparkling wines from 90 Plus.
Cool.
Yeah, we're talking like pretty good ones. Then you're going to pay around $10 a bottle, 10 to 12 maybe.
Okay, nice. Yeah, I just used some Tito's in mine.
Nice.
And I did mine at like 10 a.m. this morning, and it's now 4, so mine's not totally frozen, so I put it over ice.
Yeah, it said 4 to 6 hours, but this one's, we're both noticing this is taking a little longer to freeze.
I do want to say officially, sorry, I don't know if I've said this on pod. I've said it to you, Darren. I know for sure I've mentioned it. I don't remember if it was on pod or not. When I finished off the mistletoe margarita, it says, they have the recommended ratio of alcohol to water that you put in the bag. But it also says that you can change that ratio if you want a stronger beverage, if you want it not as strong. You can make a mocktail by adding juice or just water to it, whatever. And so when I poured my last little bit of the mistletoe margarita, I was like, oh, dang, it only feels like half the glass. I topped it off with some seltzer water. I think we had raspberry lime seltzer water. And oh my God, it diluted it just enough.
Bubbles.
And the bubbles it gave this really interesting texture with the slushiness and the bubbles. It was so great. So I'm jealous of your prosecco right now because I know how good
so you made
the
a
bubbles
margarita
can
fizz
be with it. Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, you did mention that to me, and I tried that with the last of my margaritas also. Just used club soda, I think, so it didn't actually add any flavors, but did give it that fizziness. The name of this one though being Meyer Lemon Fizz, if you didn't use, it wouldn't have the fizz if you didn't use anything fizzy, right? So yours is more of a Meyer Lemon flat. You don't have bubbles, right?
Yes, it is more of a flat. Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Sorry, but it's versatile. It's still tasty.
It is.
Still enjoy
I like it. I like it. Thank you. I know it's Noble Mix. I'm trying to think. Eric and Courtney.
Oh, nice.
I think are our friends over at the company at Noble Mix.
If you did mess up their names, we can ADR.
Please cut that if I messed it up.
We can ADR the correct names in there.
If you hear a different voice in there.
But no, they were very nice. They sent us a bunch of different kinds to try and some stickers, and it's really, really cool. Good folks. Good folks.
Well, we are back here for part 2 of Frozathon 3.
That's right. That's right. I'm going to say it. I am actually champing at the bit to talk about this food today.
Nice. Yeah, I'm excited about this one too.
Are we doing a what's in your freezer for this? I'm sorry.
We can do a little bit, we can, just because I'll tell you what I've been eating because we've eaten this already. We ate today, but we've eaten this food. Our fried chicken is our main meal for this episode, but I made some frozen sides too. So
great.
What have I been eating? I had some Pillsbury Grands from the freezer that until this past week I didn't even realize you could get in the freezer. I know it from that that refrigerated pop open twist and the biscuit dough just pops out.
Yeah.
But you can get these in the freezer too.
And they were good?
Chicken and biscuits. Yeah.
Did you microwave them?
No, baked. I baked them.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Smell you.
I think you can't microwave them. They're frozen dough. So.
Oh, so they're like actually.
They are not pre-cooked.
They're not pre-cooked.
Not pre-baked.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was about 20, 25 minutes in the oven to bake these.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Nice. And the corn, you got corn on the cob too.
I did get corn on the cob also.
I did not know you could get corn on the cob frozen.
That I know. I haven't done it much before because usually when I'm having corn on the cob, it's in the summer and I'm buying it local from a farm.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I bought, just based on price, I bought Stop and Shop brand, which was like 4 little ears for about $1. I looked at Green Giant, I think, which would have been about 4 times the price.
Ooh. Green Giant, what are you
good,
doing?
but yeah.
Come on.
Saw some other Mexican street corn type of thing that you could get frozen too and do, but no. I just wanted a low-cost frozen side for our meal.
Sounds delicious. Great. I'm ready to move into the review, if you are.
Yeah.
I'm excited about this.
Yeah, we have no news. We talked about this last time too. But
Cool.
something I wanted to mention, we bring up Trader Joe's a lot. We bring up recalls a lot. You know what we've never talked about? There are some apps out there where you can scan your product before you eat it, and it will tell you if there is a recall on that product.
What's the app called?
One of them that I haven't used it in a long time. It's called Yuka. YUKA. This gives you other information about healthiness of the food also.
Okay.
Additives, fats, sodium, all the other stuff you find in it. But it apparently will also tell you about any recalls.
Froze Nation, if you shop at Trader Joe's for anything, it is imperative that you download and use this app on every product you pick up in that store.
Yeah, or find food recalls and alerts, USA recalls. Go on your phone or whatever you're using and just search food recalls. Find an app that'll do that. Recall Radar, Food Keeper. Yeah, there are a few that'll do this.
I don't want to get into it, so I'm not even going to say it, but Trader Joe's is...
I wish these apps didn't exist because then it could be our idea.
Exactly.
We could have made this. Yeah.
Yes. But it's hard to first of all, there are no original ideas, but this is something that was born out of necessity. It seems like maybe this was someone who was had one too many, they had to throw away one too many frozen foods from Trader Joe's. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He threw away his shredded carrots and had to be like, that's it. I've had it.
Yeah. Hopefully you don't need this in the store because if it's being sold, you shouldn't.
I wouldn't trust him. I wouldn't put it past him.
Yeah.
Ugh.
But if it's in your freezer and it's been there for a while, never hurts to check that there's been no recall.
Lucas, why don't you check your pants and see if they've been recalled?
Check your pants.
That is interesting. It's called Yuka?
That's one of them. Yeah.
Maybe I'll download it and check it out.
It's free. I'm assuming I have it. I'm assuming it's free. I wouldn't have paid for it. So, all right.
All right. I am actually really excited to talk about fried chicken, so let's get into it because
All right. Quick break, and we'll come back with chicken.
This episode of the Froze Bros is supported by you, the listeners. And right now, you can help the bros by heading to thefrozebros.com to buy us a cold one. Your support keeps our freezer stocked and our podcast chillin'. Every donation goes toward more frozen finds, production costs, and feeding our ice-cold obsession. Plus, check out our video podcast now on YouTube. Find links to our channel and more at thefrozebros.com. That's thefrozebros.com. Thanks for keeping it cool.
And we're back.
We're back.
We're back, and we have chickened, but we told you that already. We ate earlier today.
We did eat earlier today. First, I want to say, we've had Banquet before on the pod. We had the pot pies.
We did. I think that's all that we've had from Banquet.
Cool.
In the pot pie face-off.
Yes. So can we skip the brand history? I just want to get right into it, Darren. I'm just so excited to get right into it.
It's an old company. It's goes back over 100 years. Old company. It's a Conagra company now. So there's all you need to know.
That's it?
Yeah. There's no cute family history or anything here.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get into it right away because the first thing I want to say is this box probably holds the record for the largest box we've ever had on the show. What do you think? This is an enormous box for frozen food.
I think so.
I mean, maybe your Baskin-Robbins cake box would have been actually the biggest? Was it bigger than this?
Yeah, that would be bigger than this.
But I mean, for like any other foods, this is, this takes the cake.
It takes the cake except for the cake.
The front of the box has a mound, a mountain of fried chicken.
Yeah.
Banquet, original crispy fried chicken, assorted pieces. We've got breasts, thighs, and drumsticks in here.
Now, it bothered you in our last episode that Farm Rich made a point of telling us that the cream cheese was 100% natural. How do you feel about being told that this is 100% natural chicken?
I don't mind that.
With apparently some sort of footnote next to natural. Minimally processed, no artificial ingredients.
Where are you seeing that?
You don't have that?
Where are you seeing that? Is it on the very front?
Yeah. Blue band. You got that, right?
Yeah. Oh, my blue band is different. Mine says no preservatives, no artificial colors, flavors, or added hormones.
Wow.
Okay, an actually different box.
Yeah. Mine says made with 100% natural chicken.
Cool. Listen, I don't mind that. I only said the cream cheese thing is because I kind of expect cream cheese to be fake. What the fuck is cream cheese? You know what I mean?
It's cheese.
It's okay.
Creamed.
I worry about things being real or natural if they're not like cream cheese doesn't exist in nature, So I don't worry about my cream cheese not being real. It's not really real to begin with.
Okay.
My chicken, I would appreciate if you said 100% real chicken, because chickens do exist in the real world. And I'd like to know that you're not making chicken in a lab, which I guess.
Well, no, we don't want that.
Eventually might be fine.
We don't want that.
But you know what I mean?
I have underneath that blue band, no preservatives, no artificial colors, no artificial flavors, no added hormones, 0 grams trans fat per serving.
I've got all those on my banner. I wonder what else is different about this box. That's interesting.
Do you have anything under the banner?
Under the banner, I have the calories for the breast, thigh, and drumstick per 3-ounce edible portion. These little things
I've got that
here.
at the bottom too.
And then
I've just got
keep
some
frozen,
extra.
fully cooked, some asterisk here. I don't know where it's. Oh, no added hormones. Federal regulation prohibits the use of added hormones in chicken. Cool. Yeah, I guess there's a little less on the front of my box. I do have a little badge here that says inspected for wholesomeness. We've seen that before on some foods.
Yes.
I wonder what the metrics for wholesomeness are.
Yeah, we've talked about that. I don't know. I don't remember if we looked it up.
That's fine.
Wholesomeness.
The others, so on one of the sides of my box, I've got the ingredients listed. It's the side that I opened. And then the other 3 are the same. It's just the name of the product and the picture.
You opened the side with the ingredients?
Yeah, I didn't see the pull.
Okay. You didn't see the pull tab.
Yeah,
Okay.
sorry.
Okay. It's okay.
Sorry, did I ruin the Frozathon? Did I ruin it? Sorry. Okay, on the back, I'm curious what yours looks like now because mine is honestly pretty conservative. Mine says tender. Oh, it's very different. It's totally different.
Yeah.
Wow.
I got a lot there.
Okay, interesting. So mine has a little
What size do you have? Is there let's make sure we're 29 ounce?
29 ounce. 1 pound and 13 ounces.
So we're dealing with the same size box probably.
Mine, I've got tender bone-in chicken pieces. A little blurb that says, at Banquet, we start with fresh chicken, then add our delicious signature seasoning. We make it with pride in the South, breading and cooking each batch to crispy perfection. Our pledge is to deliver tender, juicy chicken to your table every time. Do you have that anywhere?
I've got none of that, no.
Holy shit.
Yeah. I don't have the
crazy.
pledge.
There's no pledge?
No.
Holy, that's not good.
No, my chicken has not been pledged.
Okay, at least tell me yours says it's proudly made in the USA.
It does.
Okay, good.
Since 1953.
Yes. Okay, good. Thank God. Whew. You've got a huge diagram on the back. What does yours say?
Yeah, it's the cooking instructions in a huge, almost square, conventional oven, air fryer, microwave oven, which is not recommended.
What's not recommended?
The microwave.
Okay.
And you have instructions for all 3 ways?
I do. I have conventional oven here, microwave here, and then I was going to cook mine in the air fryer. I'm like, where are the air fryer instructions? They're all the way down here at the bottom. They're like
Really?
hidden as an afterthought.
I wonder if I have an updated box since they've made air fryer much more prominent.
Okay, we can check. Let me look for. Usually there's a copyright year on these things, but I can't find mine. We'll look for it later, I guess.
Yeah. No.
Distributed by. Yeah, I'm not seeing it. Anyway,
What's your Best Buy date?
My Best Buy date is January 19th, 2027.
I've got March 29th, 2027, so not that big a difference.
They can't be that different.
No.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the story is here.
While we talk, I'm going to take a quick look at the Banquet website.
Sure.
Sometimes they have the box.
While you do that, I'm going to jump into ease of cooking. We both cooked ours in the air fryer, which I think is probably the best option for these. Again, as with a lot of the products we talk about on the show, I think the oven is more for if you're making a large batch at once. But I made 2 drumsticks and a bigger piece. It's either a thigh or back piece, whatever. It's either a thigh or a breast. I don't know.
Yeah.
That was great in the air fryer. So we both did that. You place it in the air fryer basket, cooks at 400 for 20 minutes. At 20 minutes, you take out the small pieces of chicken and turn over the large pieces. You continue heating those large pieces for an extra 6 to 8 minutes until brown and crispy, and then you take them both out and take everything out.
Does your box?
It's pretty simple.
Yeah. Does your box say "great in the air fryer" right on front also?
No.
Yeah, I think that I might have an updated box that they maybe just started very recently.
Let me ask you this. So under your nutrition your ingredients list, you see distributed by Conagra?
Under the, yes. Yeah.
Does it say, have like a mailing address on there?
No, just
mine says
Chicago, Illinois.
Oh yeah, P.O. Box 3534?
No.
Oh, I'm just curious if they were like made in different places. Oh, weird. Very, very weird. Anyway, we kind of skipped nutrition facts and ingredients, but I mean, it's actually hard to say because the serving size for all of them, for each type of piece, breast, thigh, drumstick, varies upon assortment. They count it per 3 ounces of edible portion because there's bone. They're like on the bone in here still. So it's tough to say. The most notable thing on here is probably the saturated fats and the sodium. But it's fried chicken. I mean, if you're worried about your saturated fats and sodium, you wouldn't go for frozen fried chicken.
Exactly. So. Yeah. The sodium in this case is going to be in the coating and in the flavor.
For ingredients, the ingredients is really just assorted chicken pieces, and then the rest of it is just chemicals for the seasoning and the breading. That's it.
Yeah, and they're making a point of telling you a few times that the contents of this box are going to vary in the number of pieces and type of pieces that you have in there. I had only 1 drumstick in my box.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I had, I think I had 3 drumsticks and 2, I forget. I think I had 3 drumsticks and 2 big pieces. So I had a pretty good assortment.
Yeah. I had 2 breasts, 3 thighs, I think, and a drumstick.
Okay. I was about to start going into how they tasted, but appearance first. They got really super crispy in the air fryer. The large pieces were very large. They were huge.
Yes. Yeah.
The drumsticks I was kind of worried about because with the breading, they kind of lost their drumstick shape.
Really?
Well, yes and no. They kind of like just got like, they were big ovals like this. But maybe were like slightly smaller at one end. So maybe a little worried, but it looked like fried chicken. My whole house smells like KFC now, though. It all smells like fried chicken. We should maybe add that as a review criteria, how good it smells.
Yes. Yeah, we talked about smell a couple episodes ago, and this was a good smell.
This was a great smell. This
Today
made up
was
for
a
the
good
bad
smell.
smell of the Salisbury steak.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm checking my picture. I've got I got a drumstick that looks like a drumstick.
I'm not saying they didn't look like drumsticks. It's just they looked, Yeah. But irregardless, please let's get to taste and texture.
Yeah. I left mine in for the full 20 minutes, too. And then it says take it out take out the small pieces, leave the large pieces in there another 4 to 8 minutes. I just left them in another 4. they were looking dark, and I was concerned that they were starting to look dried out. I was worried about that, so
Were they?
I pulled them. I was concerned at first, but not too badly. I do wonder if they would stay a little juicier in the oven than they are in the air fryer.
How long did you let it rest before you ate it?
It was probably a good 5 minutes or so.
Okay, good. Good. Oh, and you had more thighs, right? More thighs and breasts?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I actually have eaten a breast and a drumstick.
Okay, got it. Same. I did too. Okay, so I dove into a drumstick first because those came out of the air fryer first, and those were cool first. I'm just going to say this right now. This was hands down some of the best chicken we've had on the show. For me, this beat Tyson chicken strips.
Really?
Yes, it did. The drumsticks did.
Wow.
Absolutely. I could not believe the drumstick was so juicy. The breading was perfectly seasoned. It had a wonderful crunch to it. I was blown away by this. I was really blown away. When I went to the other piece, the larger piece, it hadn't sat for quite as long. I know that with chicken in particular, it needs rest time. That's why I asked how long you let it rest for, because sometimes if you try cutting into chicken too soon or you eat it too soon, it doesn't have time to reabsorb the juices that, whatever.
Yeah.
So my big piece was also not by much, but a little, not as juicy as the drumstick. Could have been because it didn't rest for long enough, or because it's a bigger piece in general. But it tasted so good, I barely gave it a second thought. I really, really enjoyed these a lot.
Yeah, I agree. The drumstick was really juicy and really crispy. All of it's really crispy.
Very.
And it was only at first, I think, that I was concerned that the breast was going to be a little dry. But once I got into it, it wasn't.
No.
I think it's possible that it might be a little juicier in the oven, that the air fryer is drying it out a little bit. But
could be.
It's worth the 20 minutes to get it faster.
Definitely.
Unless you're making the whole box and then you throw it in the oven.
Yeah, my only trouble with these was I don't like when fried chicken has the back pieces. That kind of wigs me out a little bit. Like, it's one of the reasons I don't really eat KFC, is because like when you get KFC chicken, their chicken will always come with like the back pieces, like the spine and the whatever. I just kind of get wigged out by that a little bit. And so, because I'm never really sure what's bone and what's not, and that kind of freaks me out a little bit.
Yeah.
But these, it was easy enough to eat around the bone. I can identify stuff in there. But that was my one issue. But I had no problems with taste whatsoever.
Tasted good.
Whatsoever.
Yeah, a little bit of spiciness to the breading.
It looks just like it does on the package.
Yeah, and it's not easy to find fully bone-in fried chicken.
No.
Banquet is the only one I found that's doing this.
Yeah, I had to go to
I don't know
store I never go
to
get it.
If they just don't trust people to cook it properly, or what the deal is. But
we kind of talked about this because we eat a lot of chicken breast. We eat chicken breast like 3 times a week, and every once in a while we'll buy a package of drumsticks, because drumsticks are super cheap. They're much cheaper than chicken breasts, and you actually get more meat out of the drumsticks than you do anything else. So we spend like $6 or $7 on 12 drumsticks. That's enough for the whole week. Anyway, we were talking about, well, is it cheaper to get drumsticks and make fried chicken, or just buy this and call it a day? I don't know, but I can tell you that this is like very much a worthy replacement if you prefer the convenience and don't want to go through the hullabaloo of actually making fried chicken.
Yeah.
This hit. This really, really hit.
And I would definitely take this over going out to KFC too. I mean,
absolutely.
Some other restaurants where they're going to make it more homemade, some real good restaurants, diners or such, wherever. But most fast food places, KFC in particular, is not this good.
Naomi said this was comparable to Popeyes, which I don't personally eat a lot of, but she said it was pretty close to that.
Popeyes has the little bit of spiciness that this has. My last couple of times at Popeyes, I have not been too impressed with. So
okay.
I think Popeyes is on the slide down.
Oh.
So I'd say this is better than Popeyes too.
Yeah, and I have never been a KFC guy, ever. I've never enjoyed it.
For me, it's one of those places that I will go maybe every couple of years just to... And then remember how much I don't really like it.
Yeah, I haven't been... Since I was a kid, honestly, I haven't had KFC. We just didn't have it. I don't like it.
Yeah. There was a KFC at the end of my street when I was growing up. And,
wow.
My bike got stolen from that parking lot once.
No!
Yeah.
You had to walk home with greasy fingers?
Yeah.
Dang.
I did.
Well, maybe someone will buy you a new bike for your birthday.
Wouldn't that be neat?
But it's a kid's bike to replace the one that was stolen. All right. Let's review let's rate these.
How much did you pay for this though, Max?
Oh, sorry. I paid kind of a lot for it, actually.
It's not cheap, but you're getting, this is not a one-person serving meal.
Nope.
So
it's for, I would say, there's enough for maybe 2.5 servings.
Yeah.
Let me see. Banquet fried chicken.
Ooh.
I got it at Weiss Markets here in Pennsylvania. Oh, God. No, I didn't. $15? Did I pay $15 for this box? No, I paid $11. Sorry.
Okay.
They have a 42-ounce box for $15.50. I got the 29-ounce box for $11.
I got this on sale also, and also I think this was a significant price discount on sale. I paid $10.49. Other stores around here, it is $15 to $18 for this box.
Ooh, for that size?
Yes.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, so I feel like I got a good deal at the $10.49.
Definitely.
And,
you ready to rate?
And there's still some left to cook. No, because first I want to tell you that I think I don't know. I guess it's like last product. I think getting frozen fried chicken has a little bit of whimsy. I don't know that Banquet's done anything to particularly add to the whimsy of this, but I don't know. I was excited about it myself. So
I'm sorry, I'm trying to plow right through.
I know.
I forgot about whimsy. I'm sorry.
It's okay. We've gotten through everything else.
I don't know if this has whimsy either. I was also very excited to try this. It's certainly not cringe.
No.
It's also not utilitarian, which we've decided is right in the middle. So, I mean, if it was utilitarian, it would just be frozen, non-fried chicken. You know what I mean? So, I would say it has a little bit of whimsy.
Yeah, it's a little bit of fun. Yep.
And for versatility, one of the first things I said to Naomi as we were eating was, next time we make these, I'm going to toss them in barbecue sauce once they're out of the air fryer.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
That could be good. Try one once it comes out. Maybe try one going in, too.
I'd be worried about burning. Maybe I would do, in the last...
the last couple of minutes.
5 minutes or so. Yeah.
All right. You got me thinking about whether... I really liked this. We really liked those Tyson chicken strips, too. Do I like that more? It's a close call for me. It's a real close call. I think this is something that I may keep getting once in a while as some kind of treat, but not regularly. But I'll go chilled out to the max here and give it a 4.5.
Nice. Okay. I like that rating. I was just looking back at what I gave the Tyson chicken strips.
Did we both go 5s?
We both went 5 for those.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. I think, I'll say right off the bat, I'm going to give the Banquet fried chicken a 5. I think because these are great out of the box. As is, you have these with biscuits, with corn, tossed in barbecue sauce, make some mashed potatoes on the side.
Have it cold the next day. Make the whole box and save some to have cold the next day. Take it on a picnic.
Take it on a picnic. Whereas the Tyson strips, they're obviously good on their own, but they're very versatile.
Yeah. Yep. On a
We
salad
talked
in a
about
sandwich.
cutting them up in a salad and a sandwich. You could have those as a meal, but with those, I think, okay, so we're making French fries. You don't really think of the chicken strips with a biscuit and corn. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
Maybe if you're
I think
a kid.
they're
But
5.
Adults can eat kids' meals too.
They're 5s for different reasons, but nevertheless, this was a really, really great choice for the Frozathon.
Yeah.
This was really good because I would never try this otherwise. Never.
No. I would like to. Here's something where I'd like to experiment, but I don't want to. We've talked about my air fryer being hot, even though the temperature runs right. This got a little bit dark. I'd like to see it the color of what's on the box, but I'm afraid if I didn't give it the full 20 minutes and then the extra minutes that it calls for, I guess if I actually take the temperature of the chicken, which is what's recommended, and then I could take it out earlier.
I meant to mention this. I think what makes these so impressive is that they're pre-cooked, meaning nowhere on here does it say you have to cook it to a certain temperature. Obviously, it's going to get cooked. It's going to be really hot.
Oh, it's got to say that somewhere.
It does not for me.
That's crazy that it doesn't. For food safety and quality, and it doesn't say that.
So here's why I say that. Because there are so many other frozen foods that use chicken, and they do that like mechanically separated chicken garbage. I really appreciate that Banquet's got the balls to do full chicken pieces, and they come out like this. It's amazing. 5. Easy. Okay, I think we've rambled about fried chicken long enough.
Yes.
I think it's time we move on to part 2 of our murder mystery.
Part 2. See how this continues.
Yeah, again, I'll say once again, at this point we have not recorded anything. So we don't know, we don't even know what to tee up.
It made sense for the first one that we hadn't recorded it yet, because of course not. But yeah, we're giving away behind the scenes now. We're recording all the food reviews first, and then we're going to record the game segment.
Yeah, so prepare yourself for whatever's about to happen. We will see you there, listeners.
For all I know, the murder's going to be me.
Oh, careful, Darren. Don't jinx anything. You never know. Okay, great choice, Darren. Thank you for being born in May so we could do fried chicken for Frozathon. And once again, thank you to Noble Mix. I've finished my
I'm still
frozen
sipping.
cocktail already. But thank you to Noble Mix for sending us these frozen cocktails to try. I'm going to perhaps pour myself another one before the next episode. We'll see.
All right.
We'll see
you. We'll be back. I'll be back. Right, Max? I'll be back.
Yes, you'll be back. Don't worry, Darren.
Okay.
Don't worry.
And we are back. And I am back.
Darren is back. And I am back. Welcome back to everybody.
Yes, I'm here. I was not killed.
No, Darren was not killed. He was not the victim of the murder mystery. I think part 1 went really well. I know I did a lot of talking. There's a lot of exposition in that one.
Yeah.
But I'm looking forward to part 2 and getting you more involved.
Yeah. Oh, I have lots of questions.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
I'm glad. For the listeners and for Darren too, just in case, and even though Darren has access to all the episodes and the transcripts and he can listen to it whenever he wants to, I am going to do a quick recap of what happened in our previous murder mystery segment last week, going into this one, just in case you missed it. Just want to go through a couple important points.
If you missed it, go listen. Now's your
If
chance.
you missed it, go listen.
Go listen to that. Yeah.
Yeah. If you have not listened to it yet, go back and listen to the segment from the first Frozathon.
Yeah.
If you have listened to it and just need a little reminder, because this is not everything, this is not an exhaustive list of everything that happened, you can listen to the episode. If you did listen and you just forget, your memory's bad, if you're like me and you're bad at retaining, you can use this little reminder. Here we go.
And remember, I took notes. So if you really want to email anything, I can look in my notes for you and and tell you what happened.
Darren took notes really well.
Pretty
I haven't seen them
extensive
yet.
notes.
Yeah.
No, Max hasn't seen my notes. He's not going to.
Really?
Maybe at the end.
I'd love to see your notes to see where you think everything's going. Anyway, here's a quick recap of last week's episode. So last week we met our characters, Carl, Swanson, Elsie Pizek, Harold Hotshot Pocklington, Lena Stouffer, Giorgio Castellano, and of course, Harvest Lowe, played by Darren. There's a blizzard the night of Carl Swanson's 3rd annual dinner party, which has stranded his 5 guests in his home for the evening. Harvest and the other guests spend the night to wait out the storm. And a lot happened during that first part. And just to go over kind of the things that happened in kind of the second half or like the last 3/4 of that, Lena Stouffer warns Harvest about dangers in the home, not to trust anybody, to be careful, walking around the house because there are, not everyone is to be trusted. Well, I guess I'll leave it at that. At a certain point in the evening, as Harvest is getting ready for bed, Elsie comes to visit his room in distress. And Darren looks like he's about to write that down because it's... No?
Oh, no, I'm not writing anything down now. This all happened already.
Good.
Yeah.
At another point in the evening, Harvest hears a telephone ring. He hears someone cross through the upstairs, go to the first floor, and presumably answer. The phone stopped ringing, so who knows? And then the very last thing that happens in part 1 is that Harvest is woken in the middle of the night by Elsie's scream. Mr. Swanson is found dead in his bedroom, lying face down on his bedroom floor. Okay, I don't think there's anything else I want to mention. I don't know if you're good. I think we get right rolling.
I'm good. Like I told you, I have loads of questions, but they're part of the game. So
okay, great. Okay, good.
Well, then, listeners, we're going to figure this out.
Let's do it. And without any further ado, here is part 2 of our murder mystery, Murder on the Mountain. Take it away.
I've got a hard-working man. The way he treats me, I can't understand. He works hard every day, and on Saturday throws away his pay. Now I don't want that man because he's done gone holding hands. Now I've tried hard.
Welcome back to part 2 of our murder mystery. Thank you for joining us. I know we're just coming back from a little recap of the previous episode.
We are.
But just really quickly, I want to be a little more specific about where we are, and then as soon as I do, I'll pass it off to you, and you can take the reins from there, my friend.
Okay. Sounds good.
Okay. So it was the middle of the night. You're laying in bed, finally getting to sleep, and you're woken by a scream. You rush downstairs. You find Elsie kind of collapsed in the foyer. She's backed up into the table that has the ice sculpture on it and has knocked it over, shattered on the ground. She's looking and pointing down a short hallway to the end where Carl Swanson's bedroom is. You go in there, and Carl is lying face down, dead, on the floor with a pool of blood appearing by his shoulder. Now, Harvest is standing in the foyer with the other guests. So everyone is there. And so I'm going to kind of pass it off to you and ask you what you want to do next. What do you want to do first?
You said standing in the foyer, but no, we're in Carl's room.
Oh, that's right, yes. You move to the bedroom where you see his body.
Yes.
And everyone's kind of like gathered around, except for Elsie, who's still on the floor by the table, kind of behind you.
Okay. Yeah. That was one of my questions, actually. Where is everybody? Elsie did not come in. She's still in the foyer?
She already saw the body. She's sitting on the floor by the table, kind of with the shattered ice sculpture almost around her a little bit. It's kind of like strewn on the floor around her.
Yeah. All right. And we, I may still have to take notes this time, so needed some paper.
That's fine.
And we established, I think, that, and I'm not sure we said this while we were recording, but I asked you after. I think it was the first question I asked. The ice sculpture is in relatively large pieces. It's broken, but it's in large pieces on the floor.
Correct. Yes.
Okay. All right. So Elsie's in the foyer. I'm in Carl's bedroom.
You're kind of, so at that point,
In the doorway?
in the doorway, you, Hotshot,
Okay.
and Giorgio are kind of like three stooges,
Okay.
in the door. You're kind of all three of you peeking in.
And there's no sign of Lena being up yet?
No.
Okay. All right. Now, I know we're standing here, but I have spent the night thinking about some things that I saw, and I have some questions about those first.
Sure.
I had a few questions about where people were at certain times, but that might just frustrate you.
Those kinds of things will come out when you start talking to people.
Yeah. You said that this happened, this is the third year this gathering's happening. I've been invited to all three?
Yes.
Okay. Has, besides Dominic, has anyone else come to previous gatherings who isn't here this year?
Yes, but I won't tell you who.
Okay. Well, all right. It's nobody mentioned because there's
Not
only
yet.
one other, nobody mentioned yet. Okay. Has Giorgio been to the previous ones, or is this his first time?
Yes, Giorgio has been.
Okay, so both
the
Dominic
two
and
previous.
Giorgio came to the two
Yes.
previous.
Yes,
Okay.
they're usually together.
Okay, so now we're at Carl's bedroom, standing in the doorway,
Yes.
looking in. We see him face down on the floor. What is Carl wearing?
Carl is wearing his pajamas. They're
Okay.
white and red vertical striped.
And you mentioned last time he's wearing slippers.
Yes. Did I?
You
If I
did.
did, then
Yeah.
then yeah.
Yeah.
Then yeah.
I thought that was potentially important. Has his bed been slept in?
Yes. His
Okay.
bed has been slept in. Again, careful with questions like that because you have rooms to investigate.
Yeah. Yeah, but I'm in this room.
But we're kind of getting to that. So yes, when you look
Yeah.
into the room, you see that Carl's bed has been slept in. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Well, I may go back to more about looking around the room, but
Good.
first thing I want to do is check Carl. Is he actually dead? Is there a pulse?
Ooh. Okay. That's a good call. So great. So you kind of move, you're gonna like push anyone close to you out of the way, and you move to Carl's side, and you grab his wrist and feel at his wrist. You feel no pulse there. And so you move to his neck. You feel his neck is cold, and he's got no pulse there either. If you do feel a pulse, it's very weak and thready. He's going fast. And the pool of blood by his shoulder is kind of spreading across the floor.
All right. Can I tell where the blood is coming from?
Not while he's face down, but you can turn him over.
I'm not going to move the body. No, we can't do that.
Okay.
No, absolutely not. We can't move a dead body.
As you're checking Carl's pulse, Hotshot kind of like comes up close to you and is like, he says, "Is he dead? Is he gone?"
And and I don't feel any pulse in his wrist. Maybe something weak in the neck. He's cold. If he's not gone already, he nearly is.
Giorgio has kind of moved to Elsie to try to like comfort her.
So Elsie has gotten up by this point. You said she was still in the foyer.
Giorgio,
he went to the...
Giorgio kind of moved back. Giorgio's kind of like in a weird state. He's really kind of shaken.
Okay.
And he moves back to the foyer with Elsie and kind of like puts his arm around her and is like trying to comfort her.
Okay. What's the distance between this bedroom and the foyer?
Great question. There's so the foyer is kind of like, imagine one of those like round entranceways in like the front room of a big mansion house.
Okay.
And when you walk in the front door again, you'd be looking right at the ice sculpture under the chandelier. And then Carl's bedroom is off to down a short hallway to the left. Sorry, to the right when you walk in the door. And it's maybe a 10-foot hallway, and you can see his kind of bedroom door like at the end of it.
Okay. And we learned that Lena's bedroom is next to his.
Yes. It's not next door, but there's another kind of it's almost like there's kind of like the hallways kind of spire off the foyer a little bit.
Okay.
So like there's a hallway, and then there's Carl's room is kind of like, imagine like towards the back, and then next to the first room next to his, but it's more in the front because it like is against the wall, is Elsie's room.
Okay.
And then Lena's room is on the other side of Elsie's.
Okay. Where's the dining room and the sitting room that we were in earlier in relation to these?
So the sitting room is kind of like straight ahead from the foyer. So when you walk in the door, you're almost looking right into the sitting room, and the dining room is off. It's kind of connected, but to the right of that.
Okay.
And then the stairs kind of go up. How do I describe this? The stairs go up on the other side of the sitting room, and it kind of like, in like a saloon where like you can kind of walk around and like you kind of see the bedrooms from the first floor kind of up and around you. I don't know what that's called.
Yeah. Okay.
But it's kind of like that. Because remember when Harvest was sitting in the sitting room, he was watching everyone go up the stairs to their room.
Okay.
So that living room has a good vantage point of all of the spaces in the house.
Okay. All right. Back to Carl. So nearly dead, if not dead already.
Hotshot says, "So
blood.
wait, you don't want to move this body? Come on, we have to figure out what happened. The only way to know is to see what kind of wounds he's got."
No. We have to wait until the authorities are here for the body to be moved.
Authorities are here. It's the middle of the night. We're snowed in.
Then we leave him until morning to be moved. No, I'm not going to touch his body.
Hotshot, if we don't figure out... Sorry, you're Harvest. I called you Hotshot.
Yeah.
Harvest, listen, if we don't figure out who did this, it could happen again.
I know. And we are going to figure this out together, Hotshot. You and me, all right? We're going to figure this out. But somebody else is going to be coming eventually to figure this out. And you and I are suspects too. And we don't want our hands all over this body.
All right, fine. I'm with you. Fine. He kind of relents a little bit.
Okay. As I'm down near the body, what's on the floor in this room? I mean, wooden floor, carpeting, rug?
Good question. There's kind of like one of those like thin... Oh, I don't know if there's a better word for this now, so I'm sorry. One of those red rugs with the pattern. Do you know what I'm talking about? Do I have to say the potentially outdated word?
It is an Oriental rug, isn't it?
Okay, thank you. Yes. An Oriental rug. Yes. I didn't know if that was an outdated term or not. I don't know.
I don't think so.
I'll plead ignorance if it is. But yes, there's kind of a very thin Oriental rug on the floor. And as you kind of look around, so it seems like we want to look at Carl's room first. That's where we are.
Yes. Yeah.
So Carl has a pretty large bedroom. It's on the first floor. He's an older man, which is why his bedroom's on the first floor. Easier for him to get around. His room has his bed, which again has been slept in. There's a kind of heavy desk on one side of it. It's got a bunch of like papers and documents and paperweights and, everything's organized into piles, but his desk is kind of like covered in, work stuff. There's a big kind of red upholstered, wheelie chair behind the desk. And off to one side of an entire wall of his bedroom is a bookshelf filled with books and files and just lots of stuff that he's collected over the years.
Okay. Is there a fireplace in the room?
There is no fireplace in the room.
Okay. Is there a phone in the room that I see?
There is no phone in this room.
How is he faced?
How's he faced?
Where's his... I know he's face down. Bed's in the... I'm looking into the room. Mm-hmm. Bed is... I don't know. Is his head toward the door, toward the bed?
His head is... So you're looking in the door.
Yeah.
He's kind of fallen face down, almost like, I guess, parallel to the door, to the wall the door is on. So he's kind of like fallen like that way.
Okay. You
can kind of tell from the way he's positioned, though, that he may have been close to the door, just by the way, like where his feet are, because you saw his feet kind of poking around the door, right? So he kind of fell it looks like he may have fallen while the while standing near the door.
I want to check the rug around him.
Okay, sure. Yeah.
Aside from the pool of blood, is there anything else? Any stains, any wet spots?
Sure. So you kind of start feeling around on the rug. You're trying to go around his blood, and Giorgio kind of comes up from behind you and says, "What are you guys doing? What are you doing? I thought we were going to wait. I heard you guys say you're going to wait until the cops got here. What are you poking around for?"
Yeah, not moving the body. We just trying to figure out as much as possible before any evidence disappears.
He kind of like scratches his head and he goes, "Okay, well, how can I help? What can I do?"
For now, Giorgio, just keep Elsie where she is.
Okay, I can do that. Sure, yeah, no problem.
We'll be right down there.
Okay, so he leaves and goes back to Elsie. Hotshot kind of leans to you as you're kind of touching the carpet, and he goes, "He looks kind of nervous."
Yeah, he does, and I don't want him in the way while we try to figure things out.
I like where your head's at. So you're feeling around on the rug, and you can see like where the blood line, the blood puddle is kind of like moving across the carpet. But then there's kind of another spot on the rug that's like looks darker, but it's not blood. And Hotshot reaches over and touches the wet spot, and looks at his hand, and there's nothing on it. There's like a weird kind of wet spot on the floor. And he says, Hotshot says, "I remember the old man went to bed with a glass of wine last night. Do you think he spilled it?"
Do you see a glass of wine here in the room?
They look around, and on the bedside table, there is a glass of wine on the bedside table. It's been tipped over.
Okay.
But it's empty, but it's nowhere near where this wet spot is.
Okay. And I know you said everyone was drinking a wine of their choice. Was his red or white wine?
Swanson went to his room with a glass of white wine.
Okay.
That was shared in part 1.
Okay. So Hotshot felt the other spot on the floor. I want to feel that for myself too. So you say it's darker.
Yeah. You can so Harvest moves over to feel the spot. You do feel that it's wet.
Yes.
It's like when a rug is like wet in one spot, it gets a little darker. So like you touch it and you pick your hand up and it's wet.
Okay.
It's like a clear liquid.
It's wet. And does it have a smell?
You smell it? Doesn't smell like anything.
Okay.
No smell.
Okay. So it's a wet spot. It's made the rug darker. It has no smell. I'm not going to taste it. We'll just...
You could if you wanted to.
No. All right, Hotshot, we got a dead body here. Let's go to the foyer right now and talk to Elsie and Giorgio for a minute.
All right, sounds good. I do want to say, Harvest, before we go any further, obviously, a man is dead. I want to be respectful to his memory, okay? But can I be totally honest with you, just for 1 second?
Of course.
Hotshot says, I love stories like this. It's like, I want to respect the man's memory, but like, I love a murder mystery, don't you?
Yeah. Not so much when I'm part of it.
Yeah, I ain't never been part of one. But hey,
you are now.
I think you want to go out and talk to everybody?
Yeah.
Usually in these murder mysteries, everyone gets talked to separate. You think that's a good idea?
Yeah, I think we should do that. But I think we all need to gather first.
Okay, sure. So the two of you kind of move out of the room. You kind of like very gingerly close the door, and you all move into the
As I'm closing the door, before I fully close the door, let me turn the knob a little bit. Is it locked, or can I freely open the door if I close it and want to?
There is no lock on the door.
Okay, no lock. Okay, good to know.
And I'll take this opportunity now because I think you asked outside of the game. So I just want to, as you're walking back down the hallway to the sitting room, you walk through the foyer and you see the ice sculpture shattered there. So I'm saying that for posterity reasons.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. So you kind of step over the shattered pieces of the ice sculpture and you move into the sitting room. Elsie is holding a glass, like a small tumbler glass, and Giorgio is kind of like pouring her some like scotch into it to try to calm her nerves. And after he pours a little bit of scotch into her glass, he takes a big swig himself. So you see this as you walk in. Hotshot kind of scoots past you and sits. You're kind of standing there looking at the guests. And how do you want to address them? What do you want to say?
We all saw Carl. We saw what happened. We need to report this. Does anybody have their phone?
Okay, I should have mentioned this earlier. This story takes place in like kind of the 20s or 30s, and so there are no cell phones.
1920s or 30s?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So there are
I guess I was assuming maybe cell phones. Okay, so I thought maybe the cell phones maybe came in the time machine that brought the microwave that made our dinner.
No. The microwave is a special invention Carl Swanson has.
Okay.
Because he's Carl Swanson, of course. Cell phones do not exist in Murder on the Mountain. There is only the landline telephone, there's only one landline telephone in the whole house.
Okay. There's only the one phone. Okay, good to know. And we are in the room with that phone right now?
You can see the phone from where you're standing. The phone is located on a small table next to Lena's bedroom door.
Oh.
Who you still have not seen.
Right. All right. Well, if we don't have phones of our own, then I'm going to call the police. So I go to the phone.
You go to the phone?
Yeah.
You pick up the phone and the line is dead.
As I expected.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming it's a dial phone, right?
It's like a rotary phone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Rotary. Yeah. All right. The foyer is the first room entered from the front door?
Correct.
Okay. This is probably of no consequence, but I just want to open the front door, check a couple of things.
You want to open the front door?
Yeah.
Okay, so you and Hotshot have kind of gathered everyone in the sitting room, and you're just kind of like, you're over there checking the phones, and then you move over to the front door, and you try to push the door open, but the door has so much, the snow is still coming down outside. The snow is so packed against the door, you can't push it open.
It is still, this door opens out?
It opens out.
Okay.
No one's getting in or out, at least until the morning.
But we can tell somehow that it is still snowing?
You can hear the wind howling.
Wind does not snow.
I know, but you can't see out the windows. You can't open the door.
Okay.
The wind is still howling. As far as you know, you're not going anywhere.
Okay. So I'm at the front door near the foyer.
Yep, you're trying to get the door open.
Okay, it won't open. Everyone else is in the sitting room. Before I go back there, I want to look at the ice sculpture a little more carefully.
Sure.
You said they're relatively large pieces.
Yes.
Yeah, I saw this yesterday as I came in. It was Elsie's grandfather, Captain Gordon. Captain Gordon. Yeah. In the ice sculpture, he was holding a large spear.
Yes, he was.
Do I see that spear among the pieces on the floor?
You kind of look around. You don't see the spear as it broke off in big pieces. It was Captain Gordon staying on the bow of a ship, holding the spear. You see big pieces. You can make out, the head, torso, the part of the ship. There are some smaller pieces shattered. You don't see the spear on the ground.
Okay.
But you can't be sure it's not in one of the smaller, that it broke off into smaller pieces. You can't be certain if it's there or not.
And I imagine it's starting to melt. So is this floor carpeted also? Or hardwood?
This floor is carpeted as well. And you notice as it's melting, it's leaving the same kind of stains on the floor as are in Carl's bedroom.
Okay. So is it a similar carpet? Rug?
It's a similar color, yeah.
Okay.
Similar material, different pattern. But you can tell it's having the same effect here as something did in Carl's room.
While I'm here, do I notice if anything else is out of place in the foyer there? She knocked over the table, which knocked over the ice sculpture.
Yeah. Nothing else in the foyer is out of place.
All right. I'm going to go join the other three.
Okay.
Back in the sitting room.
Okay.
Is the fire still going?
You threw... so when you went to bed, you threw your last couple ice cubes on the last couple coals. So the fire was out, but as you walk back into the sitting room, Hotshot has gotten the fire going again.
Okay. So there were logs inside, and
yeah, they were kind of like a small collection of logs inside, enough for the evening.
Okay.
And this, of course,
is Hotshot. Do I see that Hotshot is doing that, or
when
I
you
don't
walk
know?
When you walk back into the sitting room, the fire is going, and Hotshot is kind of getting up from in front of the fire, and he walks to you, and he says to you, he says, "I think we better start trying to figure this out. These two are getting antsy and impatient here. Elsie's really in a bad way. She said that she was trying to talk to you earlier. Did she try to talk to you earlier tonight?"
She did. She just as I was going to bed, she came up to my room, wanted to come in, and I wouldn't let her.
Come on, Lowe. Are you kidding me?
Sorry. Why would I kid you?
Sorry. It's inappropriate. It's inappropriate. Listen, why don't we do this? Why don't you find out what Elsie wanted to say to you? Figure out what got her all worked up. Clearly, I know she's out of her mind because of Carl, but I got a feeling something else is up.
Yeah. Clearly something's going on with her. I think, though, and by the way, good plan to restart the fire there. We're going to be here for a while, so we need some heat. Are there any fireplace tools missing that you noticed, Hotshot?
Let me check. He kind of looks around him, and he looks at the collection of pokers and shovels on the side of the fireplace, and he says, "No, they're all here. Everything's here. Looks, I'm not seeing anything missing."
All right. I agree. We got to deal with these two and start talking, but I think we also need to. Someone has to go check on Lena. So.
Oh, you're right.
I feel I should.
Forgot about her.
Yeah. So I want to do that next.
Okay, sure, no problem. I'll stand out here with her. You gonna go see her?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, sure. Yeah, no problem.
Okay.
So Hotshot goes into the sitting room to sit with Elsie and Giorgio. You walk to Lena's door, and you knock, and you don't hear a response right away. But you open, so you kind of crack open Lena's door, and her room is kind of set up similarly to Carl's. It doesn't have the desk and the bookcase, but it's like laid out the same kind of way. It's got the carpet on the floor. There is a fireplace in Lena's room. You see her wheelchair kind of parked at the foot of her bed, and she's laying in her bed. She's kind of sat up in bed when you walk in, and she's awake.
Okay.
When you walk into the room, Lena says, "Oh, thank God, I've been waiting forever. Wally, please come in. Please come in, Wally. Please come in."
And I walk into the room.
Lena grabs your hand and she says, "Wally, how are you? How are you, Wally? Wally, how are you?"
Lena, I have some news. How'd you sleep?
How did I sleep? She's trying to remember something. She says, she's like, I sleep good. Telephone ringing, though. Oh, I can't stand that telephone ringing. Ugh.
Yeah. I heard that too. How many times did you hear it ring?
Oh, the phone ringing. I can't stand the phone ringing. Wally wanted to talk to somebody. Wally's always talking on the phone.
Wally, when did you last see Wally?
When did I Wally, she says, now she's kind of smiling. She's like, "Wally, I see Wally every day. I see him at the office. Wally's a good man. Wally gets me a lot of good work. He works really hard. Wally takes care of me. Takes care of my business. I heard his name."
Yeah, did you?
"I heard the phone ring, and I heard Wally's name. Wally's always talking on the phone. Late, she says. Wally's always talking on the phone."
Who did you hear on the phone talking to Wally?
Wally was talking on the phone.
So you heard Wally on the phone?
I heard Wally's name.
You heard Wally's name.
Silly boy.
Who said Wally's name?
Wally works really hard. Wally works so hard.
Lena, do you remember going to bed last night?
Elsie puts me to bed.
Elsie
Elsie's
did.
so sweet.
Yeah, Elsie did. Elsie did put you to bed.
She's a saint, that Elsie.
Did Carl say goodnight before he went to bed?
Carl. Her eyes kind of like glaze and mist over. Carl's a good man. And she's kind of saying this, but like in a way that she's like almost trying to will it into existence a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
She says, Carl's a good man. Works hard. Good man.
Lena, I have some terrible news. We just discovered Carl's body in his bedroom next door. He's been killed.
Carl's a good man. Carl's body. Oh. She kind of like has, like, she kind of smiles again. She's like, oh, Carl's body. We went to the shore. One time. Oh, Carl's body.
Nice. You've known him longer than any of us, haven't you?
Carl's a good man. We played volleyball. Carl did a lot for us. Carl did a lot for everybody here. Carl made sacrifices.
I've heard. What sacrifices did he make? I've heard such wonderful stories about Carl. I'd love to hear some from you again right now.
Carl helps. When we had problems, Carl helped. Now these people, she kind of points out towards the living room. These people aren't happy with Carl's help. None of them want Carl's help. But Carl's a good man. You see, she says that, they yell at him. They get angry. They storm out of here. All week, she says. All week, they are in and they're out.
Who's been in and out all week?
Ungrateful, she says. Absolutely ungrateful. Carl's a good man. Them, she says. Them, ungrateful. All of them. In and out and in and out and in and out. Yelling. I stay with Carl. I know. I hear things. I may be old, but I hear things. Carl's a good man.
How long have you been staying here, Lena?
Carl's a good man. He lets me stay when I need help.
What do you think he would want us to do now?
Carl wouldn't want anyone else to get hurt. Carl doesn't want to hurt anybody.
Did you notice anything unusual about him tonight or earlier?
Carl seems slow, seemed tired, seems quiet, seems sad. Carl seems not like Carl.
Were you here, Lena, when the beautiful ice sculpture in the foyer was delivered yesterday?
Ice sculpture. Elsie's grandfather.
Yes, yeah. Carl has such great taste. He had that made.
The old captain. Carl and the captain. Best friends. Great friends. Carl and the captain. We all started out together.
You met the captain. You knew the captain too.
Good man, the captain. Strong family. A shame what happened to Elsie. Absolute shame.
It is. She's been through so much.
Carl's a good man.
Did you know Elsie's husband, too?
Elsie. Her husband.
Paul.
Poor Paul. Poor Paul.
Shame what happened to him, too.
Shame.
Do you want me to help you up so you can join us?
Up?
Out of bed?
No, I stay in bed.
Okay. You stay here. All right, I'm going to leave Lena.
Okay.
And I'll close her door.
Okay.
All right, so I'm going to join the other three back in the foyer, in the sitting room.
So you walk back into the sitting room and you see just Hotshot and Hotshot is sitting there and Giorgio is sitting there.
Right.
They're facing each other. They're like both kind of facing the fire, but like almost kind of towards each other a little bit.
Okay. So I'm going to let them know. I told Lena, she's still completely out of it. I'm not sure she knows where she is or when this is. She's going to stay in bed.
Hotshot stands and goes, good. He says, he's like, honestly, I'm glad her heart didn't explode. Then we'd have two on our hands. Well, sorry, that was callous. Sorry.
At least we would have known how that one happened.
Ha! There it is. There's that sense of humor.
Where did Elsie go?
That's when Giorgio speaks up. He says, Elsie went back to her room. She had to go lie down.
I'll go check if she's okay and if I can get her anything.
Okay, sure. Yeah. So you move to where Elsie's room is, and you knock on the door, and she cracks it open and says, she says, "Oh, will you see me now?"
Yeah, I want to see how you're doing. I know Carl meant a lot to you. Your family meant a lot to Carl. I'm worried about you.
She opens the door fully, and she kind of pulls you in. And before she closes the door, she looks outside to make sure that Hotshot and Giorgio are not around. She closes the door behind you, and she says, "I'm sorry for coming to your room earlier. That was completely inappropriate. I was just, ever since Paul died, things have been very confusing and hard to make sense of things. Things I don't understand, things that are big. It's all just so big," she says.
It's a lot for you to deal with. I know that Lena has cared for your family. Carl has cared for your family. They lost spouses also, right? But not in the way that you lost Paul.
She says, "I thought I could trust Carl because it always seemed like he was helping our family, helping my family, Paul's family, all that shit that went down. But it turns out, Harvest, he was only ever in it for himself. He didn't really care about my family, Paul's family."
You don't think so? He's known you for such a long time, hasn't he?
When Paul and I met, Harvest, it was beautiful. We had to keep it a secret, of course. Because,
why? Well, you're telling me. Go ahead.
Come on, Harvest. I shouldn't have to spell it out for you. Mrs. Paul's frozen seafood, Gorton's family seafood. Come on, we were enemies. We couldn't possibly be. We couldn't be caught dead together. It was a really difficult time. Our families were rabid. It was awful. It was terrible. But the two of us together, we found our own little island. Our own little island of happiness where it was just the two of us. It felt like we couldn't be touched.
How long were you married?
Paul and I were married for almost 10 years. Did I ever tell you about my cousin?
No, I don't think so.
The war that almost broke out between our families? Carl was the only reason why our families didn't literally start murdering each other.
Really?
Years ago, a cousin of mine was accused of stealing a recipe from the Pizzex, from Mrs. Paul. And a couple of guys who may or may not have been working for Paul's parents tracked down my cousin and beat him up within an inch of his life. He's in a wheelchair now. He can't walk or eat by himself.
That's terrible.
I was young. It was before Paul and I met, but things were tense from then until they found out about the marriage, and then I thought it was going to explode, but Carl stepped in, and I don't know what he said to my parents, but it was peace. I mean, I got cut out of my inheritance.
From the Gortons?
Yeah, from the Gortons.
Yeah.
And for a while, things were okay. I could have survived without my family, without my parents. Paul and I had both had enough of that. But then it was May 17th. Paul had gone out for the first trip of the season. He doesn't normally do that. He wasn't like that. He didn't go on fishing trips. He wasn't that kind of guy, you know. He stayed on shore. He was a businessman, but he wanted to go, and he did, and I never saw him again.
May 17th, and you remember the day, and you never saw him. Did Carl or Lena understand what you were going through then?
I thought Carl did. Of course, being married to Paul, who inherited his whole family's business, I was just
Paul,
so distraught.
Yeah.
I couldn't make.
Yeah, Paul wasn't disinherited.
Paul,
clearly, yeah.
No. Anyway, I went to Carl. I was looking for answers. I needed help, and he convinced me to sell Paul's business to some private equity firm. Oh, God, just the thought of it makes me sick. I can't believe I did that.
Yeah.
And what's worse of all, Harvest, after losing my family, my husband, my everything, she kind of reaches back behind her. So again, all these bedrooms kind of set up the same. She's got like a small desk, like a writing table in the corner with a chair. She reaches back to the writing table, and she's got a stack of papers. And she says, she kind of like puts them down she like picks them up and puts them down on the desk. She's like, "You'll never guess what I found tonight, Harvest. I knew something was up. I knew something was fishy."
What did you find?
Guess who's on the board of the private equity firm I sold my husband's... I can't even say it. I can't even say it. Swanson, that pig.
Swanson. And he never told you?
There's a lot of things he never told anybody, Harvest.
When did you find this, Elsie?
Look, I know what you're thinking, okay? I know what you're thinking. You think I killed him.
No. Elsie, I'm worried about those two goons that are still out in the sitting room. We need to figure this out together. Lena is a little out of it. This has probably pushed her further. She's not comprehending what happened. Elsie, we need to figure out. Don't forget, we're all going to be suspects. We need to figure this out before we get out of here and the authorities come in.
I came to see Swanson earlier this week. I told him. I said something doesn't feel right about Paul's disappearance, and I was regretting and feeling guilty about selling to that private equity firm. He gave me some lip service about how it's better to let go and move on. None of it felt right, Harvest. None of it felt right. So I went into his room. He was sleeping. He was there sleeping in his bed, but...
When? This was tonight?
Harvest, I swear I didn't kill him. I just went into his room and I was looking for something. I didn't even know what. But I was going through some of the files in his bookshelf, in his bookcase, and that's when I found this paperwork. I found all of it. Oh my God. Oh my God.
And he was never going to tell you?
He was never going to tell me.
Was Lena here when you were here earlier in the week?
Lena's been staying all week. She's been here, of course.
Did you see anyone else around when you came here? Was it just Carl and Lena?
When I was here, she's like trying to remember. Oh, Wally was here. Wally was here with Lena. Yeah, they had a meeting of some kind.
Remind me who Wally is.
Wally is Lena's business manager. He's how do I put this nicely? He's a very shrewd businessman. He's kind of the reason Stouffer's has been buying up all these smaller companies, buying them out. And you ever hear the word enshittification? It was invented by Wally Blankenship, let me tell you. Harvest, I just feel sick to my stomach.
Yeah, he's been with that family for years. That's right. How long I don't see Lena too often. How long has she been like this? She seems very confused.
Harvest, I don't know. Lena was friends with my grandfather. I remember some vacation to the beach, I'm not sure. I was too young to remember. I think I remember that. And of course, I haven't spoken to my family in years, and Lena and I lost touch. It has to have been recently, though.
She's been in the wheelchair for a little while, hasn't she?
I guess so.
I want to help clear you also. What did you do after you left my room or my door last night?
This is so stupid, Harvest. This is so utterly asinine and insane. But I came back here to my room. And I know you have no reason to believe me, Harvest. Trust me, I know you have no reason to believe me, but I did. I came back to my room. I tried to relax. I tried to calm down. Then I heard something strange from Carl's room. And now she's kind of like being brought back to the trauma of like what's happening right now. She says, I heard something strange, a struggle from Carl's room. I thought he was just walking around at first. That's why I left my room to check on him.
You did? And what did you say?
He was dead when I walked in, Harvest. It was awful. It was just awful, 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 she says.
And then what did you do?
Harvest, you saw what I did. I screamed, I sobbed, I collapsed. I knocked over that stupid ice sculpture. As if that was going to solve and mend 35 years of... Makes me sick, Harvest. It makes me sick.
35 years? What happened 35 years ago?
All this shit between my family and Paul's. Everything. Longer than that, generations. Swanson took a side, Harvest.
Knowing how long I slept for a little bit, there was a period of time there that between your leaving and our hearing your scream and you finding Carl's body. Did you go into his room before or after you went back to your room?
To find the paperwork?
Yes.
I went there after I remember hearing the phone ring.
Yeah, I heard the phone. I heard it from upstairs also.
Yeah, I don't know who answered, but I heard a deep voice. I certainly don't think Lena was taking any phone calls at that time.
No. Have you ever seen her? She can't move. Have you seen her even move on her own? She seems to be reliant on you, on Carl, to get her anywhere.
I do what I can to help Lena, but sometimes Lena seems to help herself in weird ways. Most times we have to bring her from room to room, but other times she seems to just kind of appear places. I'm not sure how she gets there. Her wheelchair is well greased, I guess you could say.
All right, so you heard the phone, you heard a deep voice. Could you make out anything that you heard?
Sorry, I need to go back. Elsie comes to your room before the phone rings.
Right.
So I said that wrong. So,
Oh,
Elsie is in Carl's room, after he falls asleep, but before the phone rings, because then she comes to you, is like, hey, I need to
She
talk
comes-
to somebody. And then she goes back to her room,
Wait.
and then the phone rings.
she came to me before the phone rang.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We were just talking about it, I
Okay.
had it backwards.
Okay.
I just wanted to clarify for you.
All right. She comes to my room. Her story is I see her going back downstairs. So she says she went to her room, then went to Carl's room, saw the
found him dead.
papers. No, she was in there twice then.
She was in there twice. The first time was basically while, think about it this way. Remember you and Hotshot are talking in his doorway?
Yes.
That's when Elsie is getting the paperwork.
Okay. So right
Then-
after I go to bed and before
Right-
she comes upstairs. Okay.
Yeah.
And Carl was already asleep
Yes.
in bed.
Yep. Elsie was able to sneak in, be stealthy.
All right. Did you notice anything out of place, Elsie, when you were in Carl's bedroom?
I did, actually. The second time, but when I saw
The-
his body,
Okay.
I had taken this stupid paperwork with this private equity and shit on it. I found it in a file folder, and I had put it back in the bookcase. But when I went back to Carl's room and saw him there, it was gone.
Okay. So you were in Carl's room twice last night.
Yes.
First time you
Found the paperwork,
find the paperwork.
then I come to see you,
Okay. You come to
and
see
then
me.
I go
You
back
put
to
the
my
pa-
room.
Did you put the papers in your room before? I didn't notice any papers in your hand when you came to see me.
I didn't bring them with you. I didn't want to be seen
Okay.
with them.
So you saw them, but you put them back in Carl's room, or you put them in your room?
They're in my room. They're in my room right now.
Okay.
They're right here. I kept them in here.
Okay. What are you telling me was missing when you went back to Carl's room
The
the second time?
the files I took were being kept in a file case, like one of those like accordion
Okay.
file organizer things. And I put it back on the shelf. I know I'd put it back on the shelf, but when I went to his room to see if he was okay, I looked quickly at the bookshelf and I don't think I saw it there. It wasn't there, and I know I put it back.
And that's the only other time. That's the second time when you went in, you noticed that quickly, and you saw Carl on the
Yes.
floor. Okay.
Harvest, I didn't kill him, I swear. You have to believe me, Harvest.
I believe you, Elsie.
Do you?
Could it have been Carl on the phone?
Carl on the phone? I suppose it could have been. Although I didn't hear his footsteps cross in front of my room.
Did you hear anyone walking to the phone? It stopped ringing.
I
It
thought I
rang.
heard footsteps
it-
upstairs. I thought I heard footsteps coming from upstairs, Harvest. I mean, you were upstairs. You don't remember hearing anything?
Oh, yeah, I did. I did. But someone, you heard a deep voice. You said you heard a deep voice on the phone, so I asked if that could have been Carl, but you didn't hear footsteps. But someone was walking near that phone near your room.
Yeah. Yeah, they must have come from upstairs. It wasn't Carl.
You must have been pretty shaken up from the scream that we heard. You had to be running pretty fast to knock that whole table over and the sculpture. Are you hurt?
I don't know. She kind of turns around and pulls up her, kind of like reach around. She doesn't pull up anything, but she like kind of touches her back. She's like, I may have bruised my side knocking into the table, but I certainly wasn't running full tilt down the hallway. I was kind of like stumbling backwards.
It's a shame about the sculpture, too. It was beautiful.
Ugh.
You didn't like it.
Harvest. Again, after my suspicions, after Swanson convinces me to sell Paul's business to private equity, and he's one of the biggest benefactors of that sale now, seeing as he'll now
Mhm.
benefit from absorbing that company. You think I'm going to take that ice sculpture as a peace offering? It just confirmed my suspicions. That's all it did.
What was he trying to do with it by having this? He said commissioning. He said this ice sculpture of your grandfather. What was he trying to tell you?
He was trying to manipulate like he always does. Like he always does, Harvest.
When you came to my room last night, you wanted to tell me something, but then you didn't. I'm listening now. What did you want to tell me?
It was this, Harvest. I needed to tell somebody I trusted.
I'm glad you trust me.
And I hope you trust me too, Harvest. I
do.
did not kill Carl.
It must be so hard for you to even be here in his house.
Thank you for saying that. It is.
Is there anything else unusual about Elsie's room? Same layout, you said, desk, papers?
Nope.
Okay.
Not that you can tell just from, like, looking at it.
You said that everyone sort of put back on some clothes from last night. She was in, was it a silk dress, satin shawl, or satin dress, silk shawl?
She was in, yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Is she wearing both pieces now?
Now she just got the dress on.
Just the dress. Without her noticing, I want to see, is there anything unusual about the dress? Is it stained? Is it torn?
Sure. So she kind of like, you can see her kind of like put her hand on her head, and she like reaches back and turns around towards the desk to pick up the tumbler of scotch that she was drinking out in the sitting room with Hotshot. And as she turns, you're kind of like looking at her dress, and you see that there's like kind of a seam that is torn in the back, just very slightly. Something that would have been covered by her shawl.
Okay. It is getting kind of cold in here. Do you have your shawl with you? Do you have a coat?
Oh, yeah. She kind of like points to draped over the chair behind the desk is like her big fur coat that she wore in that you did not see at dinner.
Okay.
But she
Didn't
wore like
see
a
that.
big kind of fur coat.
Yeah.
And her shawl is kind of like balled up. Well, it's not balled up. It's folded nicely at the foot of her bed.
We've got a fire going. Well, you saw Hotshot has a fire going in the sitting room.
Yes.
That coat would probably keep you too hot, but why don't you grab your shawl, because it is still a little chilly in here.
Sure. She reaches for her shawl, and she kind of puts it over her shoulders, and it's a white silk shawl. And
White silk, okay.
she like kind of drapes it around her shoulders. She's like, you're right. It is getting cold in here. She kind of ties it.
Do I notice anything unusual about the shawl, the silk shawl?
There's nothing unusual about the shawl. It's a little wrinkled from being folded, but other than that, there is nothing unusual.
Why don't we go join the others?
Okay, sure. I'll be out in a minute. I need to collect myself a little bit, Harvest. I'm sorry. It's been a really, really difficult night. Okay, so Harvest moves into the sitting room, and it's just Hotshot and Giorgio sitting there. Giorgio has kind of like, he's got like a glass, like a tumbler of, like a half full tumbler of scotch in his hands on the armrest of the chair, and he's kind of like asleep a little bit, almost.
Okay.
And Hotshot says, "Whew, thank God that kid would not shut up. He just kept yapping and yapping and yapping to me. Oh my God.
Let's go talk.
You and me?
Yeah, I want to hear what he told you. I'll tell you what I heard from the old ladies."
All right, sure. So Hotshot pours himself a glass of scotch, and he moves over to the couch with you. You want to talk here, or you want to go somewhere else?
Giorgio asleep? We can talk here. He's sleeping?
Hotshot like looks over. He's like, looks like he's out, but can you trust it? Do you trust him?
I don't know. I don't trust him.
Let's go into the dining room. Be a little more private in there.
Sounds good.
Hotshot kind of stands up, and he goes, ooh, ah, ee, hoo, ha. He's grabbing his like lower back by his tailbone. Ugh! Sorry. He's like, I'm good. I just an old injury flare up. It's nothing. It happens.
Yeah.
Happens. Ooh.
Right. What happened?
Oh God. Years ago. He pulls out a chair from the dining room table and sits. God. Ugh. Years ago. I was 20, 21. He's like, I used to do this thing. So of course, I grew up on Carnival Circuit with my family.
Yeah.
Me and my 7 siblings got into doing some stunts. It was me and my older brother, Frankie. He talked me into doing this stunt where they fired me out of a cannon through a flaming ring of fire, and I'd land on this target, painted in the grass, dead center I'd land, every single time.
Wow.
Boom, 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 without fail. Oh, I'd somersault. I'd do a pose up there in the air. The people, Harvest. The people loved it. Ugh. I do this stunt for nearly 7 years. When I was 21, one of the bungee cables look, it's a real stunt, okay? Let me just be frank with you. It's a real stunt.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
but we use bungee cables to kind of guide my path there, okay? And one of the bungee cords snapped and I landed a little askew off target. And man, it messed me up. Man, it always messed me up. Fuck.
Sorry to hear that. What's stirring it up tonight?
Stress and being up late and this whole fucking night, man. This whole fucking night.
Yeah. What was Giorgio talking to you about?
The only thing it seems like Giorgio knows what to talk about. His brother, Harvest. His brothers are always giving him problems.
Dominic, yeah.
I'm sick of hearing about it. Frankly, I'm happy Dominic's... honestly, I was going to say I'm happy Dominic's not here, but I actually wish he was, because maybe I'd have to hear about him less. God.
You've known Carl pretty long, too, haven't you?
Yeah, I know Carl a long time. He came out to a carn a time or two.
He seems to have a soft spot for you, inviting you to these gatherings.
Yeah, Carl's an okay guy. He set me up good. He came to a carn, and it was right after my accident. My parents had moved me to concessions. I was working on the fried dough and the corn dogs. And I just kept thinking to myself, there needs to be a better food. There needs to be a better way to get a good dose of protein when you're out all day in the hot sun. You need something to hold on to. And it just hit me, Harvest. It just hit me. Hot Pockets.
Hot Pockets.
I can't explain it to you, Harvest. It just popped into my head. To wrap ham and cheese, or pepperoni and cheese, or broccoli and cheese, or meatballs and sauce and cheese into a pocket of dough. Man, I can't tell you where it came from. But it was sent from above, I swear to you. Swanson gave me the money to start up my own little thing there, and it was great for a while.
For a while? What happened?
Yeah. Well, think about it, Harvest. My family grew up in a carnival. A fairgrounds.
Yeah.
Not exactly of means, if you know what I mean. Hot Pockets, of course, do extraordinarily well. My family, they just started saying some things, and it got complicated.
Who started saying some things?
Well, Carl and I worked out this deal. He gets a certain percentage every pocket I sell. I had some family tell me that maybe Swanson's taking advantage of me. Maybe it's not the best deal I could have got. But I tell him I wouldn't have been able to do anything without Swanson, and still my family tells me, you got a bum deal. I went to Swanson about it, and he said some weird things, confusing things, and I didn't like it, Harvest. I didn't like it.
What did he say?
Wow, he said that my family was jealous. He said that he said my family was jealous because of me, and certainly they were jealous of him because I was pulled out of that world, he said. He actually said that world. Hey, that's my world. That's where my family comes from, that world. It was my brother Frankie that told me. He said, Swanson didn't give you a good deal. Oh, no, I got a good deal from Swanson. He's helping me. Man.
Well, it's your deal, not theirs. So it's about whether you feel right about it.
Well, I did notice some funny business, Harvest.
What's that?
Well, fine print in our contracts. The percentages go up the more Hot Pockets I sell. So the more I sell, the more I give to him. The more I give to him, obviously the more that he's able to increase his percentage. I didn't know what I was signing. I was just a fucking kid.
Yeah, that's not a good deal. Not with the percentages increasing as sales increase.
I love my family, Harvest. I miss them sometimes. Sometimes I wish I could go back to the carns, the fairgrounds. I miss my old friends. I miss my whole family.
Yeah, I'm sure you do. What happens to Carl's percentage now?
That's a good question, Harvest. Probably more. There's probably fine print to that fine print that will tell us what happens to his percentage.
Yeah. Who gets that, I wonder?
I don't know, Harvest. If I had to guess, Wally.
Wally's involved in everything, isn't he?
You can say that again. Wally did all the paperwork between Swanson and I. Should never have trusted him.
Mm-hmm. Wally's Lena's guy, too. So it's all a little mixed in there.
Wally's a player.
Yeah.
Can't blame him. Don't hate the player, hate the game.
You said you know things about Lena, too. What were you talking about? She is,
Harvest, don't believe a word that woman says. She's gonna act like she doesn't know nothing.
she doesn't make sense. Nothing she says makes sense.
Why? What'd she tell you?
She says nothing except Carl's a good man.
Ha!
I'm not even
course she
sure
would.
she understands he's dead.
Doubt it.
Did
You know they had an affair.
did they?
Oh, yeah.
I wondered with her staying here, the way she said, "Will I be staying another night too, Carl?"
She tell you about their trip to the shore?
I heard something to do with that. Yeah.
Every fucking year with that story. Carl's body, this. Ugh, please. Spare us the details. But no, that's all an act, Harvest. She knows what she's doing. She knows what she's saying. She knows why she's saying it.
Yeah. She I've heard the story so long. When was that trip to the shore? You remember?
Oh, I think it was. I mean, I can't be sure. I would say probably when she was still walking, when she was still good to walk on the beach. They were young, Harvest.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know. It's this old story. Lena goes down the shore with Kat and Gordon, Carl Swanson, and they come back, and then the business just kind of changes. Everyone knows this story, Harvest. Come on. The whole business changed after that trip. Something happened. Things got dirtier, messier. I don't know. That's what I hear anyway. I heard it used to be better. I heard it was less common to get shit deals from old men. Pull a fast one on you.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you gotta watch out. Gotta watch out for everybody.
That was for damn sure.
You said last night when we found Carl, this is exactly the kind of thing I was talking about. What did you mean?
All right, look, Harvest, I didn't kill Swanson. Okay.
Yeah,
I know
I saw you upstairs. I saw you up in the bedrooms. So
thank you. Listen, we get invited to this party every year.
yeah.
Swanson's got his hands in lots of different pies, Harvest.
Yes.
You think he hasn't ruffled feathers? You think I'm the only one got a shit deal from that guy?
Yeah.
Something's clearly going on with
You're
that.
probably not. Yeah.
Brought in the
probably
black
not.
dress, LZ, is that her name?
Elsie.
Something's going on with her, with the two of them. Giorgio, oh my God, was fucking beside himself. I basically got to pour that scotch down his throat to get him to chill the fuck out.
Yeah, he's pretty uptight. Did you hear the phone ring last night?
I did hear the phone ring last night.
Yeah.
And I heard footsteps cross the front of my bedroom door, go downstairs, and my room was a little closer to the end of the stairs. That wasn't you that answered?
No, I stayed in my room. I heard footsteps also. I heard the phone ring maybe 3 times. It stopped ringing. Seemed like somebody answered it. And obviously the phone was still working at that point.
Yeah. Shit, you think Carl answered the phone?
If Carl answered the phone, what were the footsteps we heard?
You think Giorgio took a call?
I don't know. Who could have been calling here at all? Who'd be calling in the middle of the night? A snowstorm. Who even knows that we were going to be staying here overnight?
It could have only been everyone's here, Harvest. Everyone who comes to this party is here.
Well,
Besides
except
2 people.
Except Dominic.
Please, no, please,
Yeah.
please.
Yeah, well. Go ahead.
I did hear that Wally got an invitation this year.
Really?
Yeah, I did.
But he didn't come.
I guess not.
Did you hear why?
Who the hell knows what that guy? I could guess, but
Yeah.
my guess would
knows?
be DUI. My guess would be at a strip joint somewhere. My guess would be face down in the gutter. That guy is a total piece of shit.
I've heard. Yeah.
Honestly, the only person who might be less trustworthy than Swanson himself is that fucking Wally Blankenship.
He's got his hands in everything.
In everything.
Yeah. So he knew we were all here, but I don't know. Did you hear anything else unusual during the night? Anything else happen?
Let's see. I talked to you when you come upstairs. I hear the phone ring and footsteps. I heard you leave in the middle of the night again to use the bathroom. You did leave to use the bathroom, right?
No, I didn't.
What?
No.
Well, I heard footsteps again go by my door, same as when the phone rang.
I didn't hear those.
You must have been asleep. Yeah.
I guess so.
I heard footsteps go down.
To use the bathroom downstairs. I guess we should go check on everyone else. We got to keep an eye on them. You know? Who knows who we can trust around here?
Yeah, I'm so fucking tired, August. I'm so fucking tired of this shit. I just want it over.
I want out of here. I want to get out of here. Let's go see if Giorgio woke up.
And that will do it for this installment of Murder on the Mountain. Join us next week where Darren will speak to our final suspect, Giorgio Castellano, inspect the rest of the house, and decide who murdered Carl Swanson, what weapon they used, and why they did it. Join us next week. Thank you to Substrates for the theme music. You can check them out at substrates.bandcamp.com.
Find us online at thefrozebros.com. Links to our episodes, our blog posts where you can find more info about each of the episodes, some more info about some of the wild tangents that we discuss. What'd you call it, Max? The chill with us?
Let's
Forum?
Chill page.
Let's chill. The Let's Chill page.
And remember, one of the best ways to support the podcast is to rate and review us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or however you listen. It really helps us out a lot.
Want to email us directly? That's at frozebrospod@gmail.com.
And now, I think the last thing on our docket is to say,
Fro you
you
later.
later.
When you try so hard to smile and life doesn't seem worthwhile, then you can tell you're under the spell of the blue.